everyone. My name is Sudeep Giri, and I'm from Atlanta. And you think just by seeing me helping around with everyone, I'm waiting for my chance, my turn to be up on stage to talk instead of just handing over the laptop for other people to speak, controlling the mic and taking pictures. Finally, it's my turn. I get to speak now. Thank you for being on stage with me. Now I know everyone's, we've talked about philosophies, history, and whatnot, and also some mathematics. But for me, I'm going to be going a little bit more technical into science of Yajna, which I'm sure we have talked about, but I wanted to go a little bit more deeper into this aspect of the Arya Samaj. So one of the most important rituals in our society is Yajna, we know that. But most of you may know this ritual as Havan, Puja, or maybe even its proper name, Agnihotra. Today I'm here to answer the question we're all here to ask. What is the purpose of Yajna, and how does it affect me and my surroundings? We already know with experience that Yajna is used in several occasions such as marriages, house opening ceremonies, and for all the sanskars for children throughout their child and adulthood. In general, Yajna is the ritual of putting cow ghee, certain types of firewood, prasad, and samagri into a havan kund with a lit fire. This act of offering oblations to the fire while chanting mantras from the Vedas represents the sacrifice of material resources essential to human survival. Performing this ritual basically cleanses the mind, body, and environment. To be able to answer the proposed question, we must know why we need to perform this ritual. The greatest reason is pollution. This problem is apparent in the smog in many countries and cities, the waste dumped in the Ganga and many other rivers, and in the ocean where there is an island of floating trash which altogether causes global warming. All of this pollution, this dirt on Earth's carpet, so to speak, can be cleansed by performing Yajna. This ritual, if done twice a day during sunrise and sunset, purifies the whole environment one step at a time. You may be wondering how this can be possible with just one person. In reality, the more people who perform this ritual, the faster the environment will be purified. During the performance, the Havan Kund captures the solar energy in the air and thrusts it up to 12 kilometers into the biosphere. Think of the Havan Kund as the transmitter and receiver. It receives solar energy and transmits it throughout the environment. This is where the science mixes in. To understand it properly, you must thoroughly look into modern combustion science. Like the combustion of fuel found in the engines of cars, trains, and planes, the oxidization of fuel found in Yajna results in fire. Some fuels release more energy than others. These hydrocarbon fuels, including methane, propane, gasoline, and diesel, range up to 10,000 calories per gram of fuel. This measurement is referred to the calorific value. The combustion temperature can reach up to 2,500 degrees Celsius. Cellulose, on the other hand, doesn't have a high calorific value, like the wood burned during Yajna. Its calorific value is around 3,000 calories per gram, because hydrocarbon fuels have only carbon and hydrogen atoms in their molecular structure, whereas cellulose fuels additionally have oxygen atoms in their structure. This means that they are already oxidized, and their potential to be further oxidized during combustion has been reduced, resulting in the maximum temperature to range only between 800 and 1200 degrees Celsius. Upon completion of the combustion of hydrocarbon fuels, the byproducts released include carbon dioxide and water vapor. Sometimes a deficiency in the amount of oxygen may lead to the byproduct of a dangerous substance called carbon monoxide. The combustion temperature being as high as 2,000 degrees Celsius may result in the combination of nitrogen and oxygen to form harmful pollutants that help increase the greenhouse effect, resulting in global warming. You must realize these are hydrocarbon fuels and not cellulose fuels because the combustion reaction in engines is different from the combustion reaction in Yajna. This can be argued because the amount of carbon dioxide generated in Yajna is not comparable to the amount produced by industrial power plants. As Swami Dayananda Saraswati stated in the Satyat Prakash, the oblations including ghee, samagri, firewood, and prasad that are added in the fire combines to return health-promoting, germicidal, deodorizing, and air-sweetening properties back into the atmosphere. It is important to remember the ingredients used because they will help the outcome of the yajna be purifying. For example, the samagri used is made from various herbs and roots of a plant. The ghee is made from clarified butter. The firewood is a mango tree, and prasad more or less is made of sweets. Upon the combustion of these offerings, sterilizing and medicinal fumigants are spread out into the atmosphere. This is comparable to chili powder being fumigated throughout a large area with the use of a fire. This example proves how one person conducting yajna can fumigate ingredients across a large radius to help purify his or her environment and the people in it. Studies conducted by Lieutenant Colonel G.R. Galecha show how within 8 to 15 months of the treatment of performing yajna, a 25-year-old man who was a heroin addict for 2 years was able to recuperate into a healthy and motivated man. After publishing his study in the Indian Journal of Psychiatry in 1987, Colonel Galecha conducted another study at the military hospital of Kirki, from which he published and presented his paper titled Agnihotra in the Treatment of Alcoholism at the 41st Annual Conference of Indian Psychiatric Association held in Cuttack, India in January 1989. Similarly, Dr. A.G. Mondkar, a microbiologist from Bombay, conducted a study on how yajna affects a harmful bacteria population. He discovered that performing yajna reduces harmful bacterial count by 91.4%, and that within 30 to 60 minutes of conducting this ritual, the same observation occurred with the aerial microflora such as Staph albus, E. coli, and Enterococci. Other successful experiments, like Dr. Manoj Garg's discovery of yajna reducing 75% of the level of sulfur dioxide and 10% of nitrous oxide in a given area, and Dr. B.G. Bhujbal's discovery of yajna causing grape seeds to sprout over 21 days instead of 300 days with the use of modern technology, prove impressively the effects of yajna on the environment, just like the way Dr. L. Matella of Poland did by using the ritual's fire, its ash in a water solution, and PSI techniques to reduce radiation in the air over a certain amount of space. In a crisis, all of you may remember, families in Madhya Pradesh who performed yajna in their homes were able to survive the Bhopal gas leak in December of 1984. Hence, you can see that the world is full of scientists who are discovering yajna as a better use to the environment, and that global warming and unexpected incidents will keep on persuading the increasing need of yajna. Not only does science prove this ritual to be excessively beneficial, but the Vedas also prove it to be true by two shlokas. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 14, Bhagavan Sri Krishna ji says, Anna bhavanti bhutani parjanyad annasam bhava yajjad bhavanti parjanyo yajjah karma samudbhava. This means that by performing this Vrishti Yajna, the harmful bacteria in the air is destroyed, thus reducing acid rain and increasing fertile lands with healthy crops for all living bodies to harvest and eat. Put simply, the Yajurved in chapter 18, verse 1 states, Ota yakshat samidhendram yadaspade nabha pritibhya adhidivo varshman samidhyata adishta jashani saham vedva jasya hota yajya. This says that with the use of Ved mantras and oblations such as ghee, samagri, firewood, prasad, and other good-smelling ingredients, people need to perform yajna to refine the clouds, to receive clean rainwater, and to make their environment and themselves healthy and strong. That is why the Ved says, Ayam yajjo bhuvanasya navihi, which means that yajna is the source of the purification of the world. Thank you.